Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. We did have a little bit of volatility just after the US markets opened today. So we're going to take a look at what Bitcoin is doing. I want to start with a 4-hour time frame and take a look at the movement since July. And then we are going to take a look at the lower degree time frame. But before we dive deeper into the analysis, first a few words about the sponsor of today's Bitcoin video, Chartprime. Chartprime is a service that provides specific TradingView indicators. There are 5 specific and unique indicators that you can only get through Chartprime if you sign up to one of their plans. These are based on quite complex algorithms and formulas and can be helpful in identifying trade setups, which means they can provide additional signals that could support your trading. Indicators can, for example, also be useful to support Elliott Wave counts to give more confidence. Of course, you don't need to apply Elliott Wave to use Chartprime, and the combination of their indicators alone can provide trade setups and signals as well. They currently offer a 30% limited time discount, so if you are interested in this, check it out. Of course, bear in mind that no indicator works 100% of the time. Here's an example of the Bitcoin chart with one of the range indicators. This indicator combines various indicators in itself, so you can adjust it to your needs, but it basically shows your range resistances, different support resistance levels based on different time frames, and it categorizes them based on their relevance. And this indicator provides you with dynamic support and resistance bands to which the price is reacting. And if you're interested in checking it out, make sure that you use the link in the video description and on their website. You can also read through testimonials and you can join their Discord community, which you can join in case you have any questions about how to use those indicators. Okay, so let's take a look here at the 4-hour time frame. Anybody who missed it in the video earlier today, just wanted to outline the possibilities here on the 4-hour, or you could even say on the daily time frame. Doesn't really make a difference in this case here because we're looking at the price action from June onwards. Currently, we do have the situation that here all of this could just be a corrective move. A wave up, B wave down, C wave to the upside. And the view is still that the low could certainly be in for Bitcoin. We have a lot of indicators that have triggered, that historically have been a good indication that Bitcoin's low is already in. Yeah, historically they have worked out, like the 2-week MACD bullish crossover. I can just show that to you briefly. We talked about that already before it happened, made you aware. This typically, oops, I need to reactivate, I think, the MACD here. So there we've got the MACD. Yeah, here on the 2-week chart, if we zoom in a little bit, you can see that this bullish crossover happened at a very, very low level. I mean, that MACD line was really in Bitcoin's history never at that level down there. That could potentially indicate that a low is already in, and it would also set Bitcoin up for a really interesting rise, because at some point, the MACD is getting overheated as well. And if you base it on historical conditions, the MACD line never started from such a low. I mean, we've been down here at, the reading is minus 5,800 pretty much. We've never been down that low. The lowest reading before that was 1,500 roughly. No, sorry, it's minus 1,000. So it's pretty low, which means it shouldn't get exhausted that quickly on the way up, if this is already the decent breakout. Yeah, let's take a look at the monthly. Here on the monthly MACD, we are also starting to see a turnaround. And again, it's only an indicator. It doesn't mean the low is definitely in. But the last time when this started, this kind of turnaround on the monthly, it indicated that we were starting to get into a bull run. So I'm just showing these to you. Make up your mind, your own mind. The only thing I can tell you is that the price structure doesn't confirm it yet. We've got all these indicators and they are great, and in the short term it means we are in a really aggressive uptrend, and you can see that on the daily as well. If we look at the relative strength index, for example, which is basically at a 2-year high, I believe. Let me just activate that. Here it is as high on the daily as it's been, it's been last time. Yeah, you could argue similar level in January 21 here. So basically 1 year. Yeah, so that is quite decent. And we are there now already. So that sometimes indicates that a new trend is emerging, also on the daily time frame. So, things are adding up and things are getting interesting. But if anybody asks me, do you think the low is already in? I mean, I can only share my own opinion. And for me, it doesn't feel right yet. But, that's only... Nobody cares about my opinion. The market doesn't care about my opinion. What we should care about is to find low risk entries, high reward setups, and to prepare for the bull run. That's what we should focus on, because that's what we can control. Yeah, we can't control the market. Something you could get a black swan event. You could get all sorts of things. What is rather positive about Bitcoin is that we haven't really reacted in a very negative way to the Genesis bankruptcy anymore. So shows that a lot of buyers have entered the market and a lot of bears have exited the market. So that's interesting. But either way, I cannot, from an Elliott Wave point of view, confirm that a bear market low has been made until we see these 5 waves up complete and 3 waves down complete. Yeah, I explained that in a previous video. But there are all sorts of indicators that can be used that already tell you, we are certainly in an uptrend and there is no indication it has topped yet. So I did explain in a previous video that strategically, all of this here is obviously still bear market accumulation range, in my opinion. Anybody who doesn't have any position, personally, I would get one. That's no financial advice. It's only what I would do. And I would not be positioned on the short side at the moment, at least not yet, until we have a clear top in place. This could still move higher. We haven't even finished wave 3. And there's no guarantee that waves 4 and 5 will finish. It could very well be when we've put this wave 3 in place, we're going to break down, make that new low. But if we get the 4th and the 5th, at least, we have a good chance that this wave 2 is holding. And if it holds, this is a great entry area, great low risk entry trade setup. So we're going to keep an eye on that, focus on it. Certainly good to see some movement in the crypto market, absolutely. And let's zoom in now onto the 1 hour chart. Here we have the situation that Bitcoin has been fighting for the last day or so. Nope, not that. Has been fighting for the last day or so with this descending trend line here. And it seems to be just about to break out. It already failed earlier today. I did watch that live. While it was happening, we had already a breakout, but it was like 2 minutes before 2 minutes before an hourly candle close. And within the last 2 minutes, the Bitcoin's price was pushed down below the trend line again. So you can see how relevant that trend line is. And we make another attempt now. So we've made a higher low. We've made a slightly higher high. That's the first indication things could be changing here. I would count this, you could count it as a wave 1, but it would rather be a diagonal pattern then. But certainly this is interesting. So if we count this high as a wave 1, and then here maybe an A and an overshooting B wave and the wave C, where we finished off a small wave 2, and we could now be rallying finally in a third wave. Now we need to watch that. It's not confirmed yet. A breakout above the 23,140 level would be a good indication that wave 3 is running and in process. And the target for the third wave would be, at least it needs to get to 23,370 to be basically a wave 3. Yeah, we want to reach at least the 1.618 Fibonacci extension in a wave 3. If we don't even get there, it's not a wave 3. Yeah, for example, we had the situation earlier today. I did have the wave 2 here and said, right, we have also here, I think target was similar. We need to get to that wave 3 to have confidence it's a wave 3, and we obviously lost out on 50% of the distance. So but at the moment, one higher high, one higher low. Now you need really to confirm a trend change from a more traditional TA point of view. You need at least 2 higher highs and 2 higher lows. Now we haven't seen that yet. So one more higher high, one more higher low. That would here equate to a wave 3 and a wave 4. Would be great. Ideally, then you make one more high, and then you've got your 3 higher highs and 3 higher lows, and it would confirm the trend is going. But at that time, we might already have filled the 5th wave. So here currently another attempt to break out. If that happens too often, and it doesn't respect the trend line anymore, I have to readjust the trend line or take the trend line out. Already now I could possibly move it here, but I'm leaving it here at the moment. Just need to see what we're doing here now. And the view remains, when you entered in this area, I would move up my stop loss into break even. You have another attempt, another chance to do this now. And then certainly, as long as we're holding above 22,000, there is no indication that a more substantial top has been made here. So against this level, generally, we can focus on higher. Micro or nano support is really here, the 22.5K level now. This particular pattern here is valid as long as we're holding 22.5K. And the larger pattern here, the orange 5 wave move to the upside, is valid as long as we're holding the 22K level. Should we really drop below 22K, then we've got that fallback scenario that I explained for Ethereum as well. And I think I explained it in the previous Bitcoin video as well. In this fallback scenario, we look at the green, circle green, or circle wave, no, wave 3 in the green circle, that this actually finished here, and that the wave 4 is still in the making, and that this was just an A wave down, an overshooting B wave at the moment, because we only have 3 waves. This is not valid anymore if we get the 5th, but as long as we have 3 waves, we still need to have that fallback scenario that this could still be a wave 4 in the making with an overshooting B wave, and we come down next in C. Now, the point I made in the previous video, I believe as well, is that this move down currently looks corrective. So I'm leaning more towards the upside at the moment, if you ask for my opinion, because the move down doesn't look impulsive at this stage. It looks rather corrective. Okay, so for example, had we have now another lower high would have made me think, okay, we might actually be heading down, but we made a higher high. So it looks choppy, it looks corrective. It all at the moment indicates that wave 4 support should hold. But of course, I also don't have a crystal ball. I can't walk on water. So I also don't know the future. So it's important to understand those pivot points and react to them, if you see them break or anything. But yeah, that's exciting times at the moment. Let's see what the market will do. As I already mentioned, I think yesterday and earlier in the week, last week, is that this will be an interesting week. We have advanced GDP for the US on Thursday. That normally doesn't do too much, not as much as CPI. And then on Friday, we've got core PCE. I think that will get a lot of focus. Usually not as much as CPI, but core PCE inflation data is relevant as well for the Fed, because next, I think it's Tuesday, the 1st of Feb, would need to look it up, but the 1st of February, we've got the next Fed interest rate decision, and surely they will base their decision on CPI, but also on core PCE, the inflation data for the US. So end of the week will become interesting, and maybe as we're heading towards those 2 days, GDP and core PCE, we will see some more volatility and some progress in the charts. Okay, and that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.